A group of people wanted to belong. The door of a door, a legacy that has been passed along. And so these families began to build their dream, the sacred Jewish home of Chalutzim. Guided by our past, we learn and teach and grow our tree of life, Tikkun Olam. We're not afraid to stand for what is right, planting the seeds to build a strong identity, loving kindness, justice, and community. I am Sinai, welcoming, loving Sinai, roots and tradition for the Jewish life's our mission, a shining light for me. That's why I'm Sinai, growing together. Sinai, found my connection. We're more than a congregation. We're a family. Standing here today, we know the journey's only just begun. Anive Atah, we build our future here with everyone. So join us to celebrate what's been and what will be. Together we'll make Jewish memories. I am Sinai, welcoming, loving Sinai, roots and tradition.
Don't want to be crowded.
Our mission, shining light for me. That's why I'm Sinai, growing together.
Shabbat Shalom. I have been thinking as we get closer and closer to Shavuot, the holiday of Shavuot, which we will celebrate starting tomorrow night, what it means to take on a commitment, what it means to pass on that commitment from generation to generation. And I look out tonight and I see the whole Stein, Curtis, Lido clan who have grown up in this synagogue, and A. Stein, who will become a bar mitzvah, assuming he gets a good night's sleep tonight, right? And how he is following not just his sisters as he becomes a bar mitzvah, but his mother and his aunt and his grandparents, and truly how beautiful it is that we can celebrate that ongoing commitment that the Jewish people have made to Torah, to living a Jewish life. So we begin our Shabbat with a song of what page?
128.
128. All right, you call it, Cantor. 128. Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman, lover of my soul, merciful God, bring your servant close to do your will.
Yedid nefesh avarachaman meshochav decha el retzonecha meshochav decha yara la la el retzonecha yarutza Yedid nefesh avarachaman, Yedid nefesh avarachaman, meshochav decha, el retzonecha, meshochav decha, yala la 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 el retzonecha. Yarutz avdecha kemo aya al ishtachav el mul hadarecha.
Adonai, you will abide, though all things change. I am anxious and fearful, and I turn my heart to you, looking to you and leaning on your strength. It is written, blessed is the one whose strength is in you. Bless me now with faith and courage. Help me to feel that you are with me, steadying and sustaining me with the assurance that I am loved. Be with me and bring me hope, that in the days to come my aspirations may be fulfilled for my good and the good of those I love who depend on me. Banish my fears with the sense that you are always present to uphold and sustain me. As it is written, have no fear, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with the power of my righteousness. Amen. Page 138, L'chadodi.
Lecha dodi likrat ka'ala penei Shabbat ne'kavela lecha dodi likrat ka'ala penei Shabbat ne'kavela
Zachur bedibur echad hishmianu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad shemu letiferet v'litzchila le'echadoni likrat ka'ala b'nei Shabbat ne'kavela
לקראת שבת מכוון אל חג כי היא מקור עם בראש מקדם נעשוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לחדודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה Shabbat ne'kavela Hitoreri kiva orech Kumi uri Shir daberi kevod Adonai Allah yitnigla Lechadori likrat ka'ala B'nei Shabbat ne'kavela Le'chadori likrat ka'ala B'nei Shabbat ne'kavela.
We rise, we turn to the door, we welcome the Shabbat bride.
Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala Kam b'simcha ובצורה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה B'nei Shabbat ne'kavela le'chadodi likrat ka'ala B'nei Shabbat ne'kavela.
You may be seated. Page 141, Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, a song for the Sabbath day.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, עלה עשות עלינה ולעלה היגיון בחינות. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועליך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. בגדלו מעשיך אדוני מאוד, עמדו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
As I mentioned, Ace Stein will become a bar mitzvah tomorrow, and we're going to invite Ace along with his mother, Star, and our sisters coming up too. Yeah, sorry, you don't have a choice. Jade and Daisy to light our Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
It's going to need a little extra help.
The guy's a little finicky.
Going to need a little extra help.
It doesn't matter.
Give a little help there.
So I go back down.
Listen.
Yes, sure. Pull that microphone up.
Down or here? Oh. Please rise for the Baruch, page 146. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, doubtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, you may reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Baruch atah Adonai amari v'ravi.
Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, law and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, We will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated and join me in the chanting of the Ve'ahavta. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם ושבתך בביתך ובלתך ודרך ושוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיים אביתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Amen.
Page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות תוסף אלה, נורא תהילות תוסף אלה. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי ענו ואמרו, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות תוסף אלה, נורא תהילות תוסף אלה. Together, יאללה Yai lai lai la lai la 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 yai la lai la lai la 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 lai la lai la lai la 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 yai la lai la 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 la. ונאמר כי פרנה את יעקב וגיל מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאלי Israel. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Vehamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ashkivenu spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Vehamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Vehamidenu shomreinu
The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat in every generation as a covenant for all time. It is a sign forever between me and the people of Israel, for in 6 days the eternal God made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from labor and rested.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בין בי ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי, וביום השביעי, וביום השביעי, שבת באי נפש יאלי,
Rise for Amidah, page 164. Page 164.
Yenanai nai 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 Adonai, Yenanai nai 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 Sfatai tiftach, Yenanai nai 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 Ufi agid, Ufi agid tehilatecha. Yenanai nai 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 שפתי תפתח ינאי נאי 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 ופי יגיד ופי יגיד תהילתך ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק אלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה אלוהי רבקה אלוהי רחל אלוהי לאה האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון חומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור עולם אדוני מחיה כל אתה רב להושיע מורי התעל מחלקל חיים בחסד מחייך הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ברופא חולים ומעתיד אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יללוך הסלע ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Praise be Adonai for Shabbat and its holiness.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Zion.
Baruch atah Adonai, המחזיר שכינתו לציון, מודים אנחנו לה.
God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving.
Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulechana lehodot. Shalom bra'am al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom bra'am al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam.
Before we add the silent prayers of our hearts to the prayers of our Siddur, we think about those of our community, those of our friends and neighbors, those of our own family who are in need of God's blessing of healing of the body or healing of the spirit. We ask God's blessing upon them. On this Shabbat, we are especially thinking about Osvaldo Barraza, Margot Brilliant, Mary Lou Brotherson, Sherry Center, Elliot Citron, Howard Citron, Barbara Davis, Etta Rachel Bat Malka Zissel, Dale Friedman, Susan Friedman, Rita Gold, David Eisenberg, Ed Johns, Mindy Elizabeth Jones, Susan Jones, Alice Klein, Leah Tovabar, Jack Lieb, Levi Yitzhak Yaakov Ben Tamara Aviv, Shammai Ben Michael, Malka Bat Masha, Leslie Piken, Elka Rock, Shaul Ben Moshe Verivka, Mark Rockfeld, Shoshana Devora Bat Chava, Mark Byron Singer, Stuart Singer, Aryeh Tzvi Ben Sara, Kevin Webb, Maria Wolf, Yonatan Ben Feifel. We ask God's blessing on them. Misha Berach Chavotenu Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov v'Imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yavarech v'Yirapeh et Cholim Kodesh Baruch Hu Yamalei Rachamim Alehem Hachli Mam L'Rapotam Hachzikam L'Hachiotam V'Ishlach Bimhera Refuah Shlema, complete healing, Refuah Nefesh, the healing of the soul, Refuah Guf, healing of the body, B'Toch Shar Cholei Yisrael Hashtar B'Hagalav V'Zman Kari V'Nomar. We say Amen. Take a moment for silent personal prayer.
עושה שלום בברמה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל שווי תבל ואמרו Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael
Many of you have heard me say throughout the years that there is no city that I know better and love more than Jerusalem. With perhaps a few exceptions, you could drop me blindfolded on any street corner in Jerusalem, and within 5 minutes, I would have my bearings and be heading in whatever direction I needed. And while I walked, I would relish the history that seeps out of its pavement and stones. It is from that history that the world's 3 monotheistic religions have come to see Jerusalem as a nexus point. Geographically, of course, it sits at the connection point between Europe, Asia, and Africa. Jerusalem is at the intersection of 2 climate zones. It is the Mediterranean on the east and the Asian desert to the west. There's a map from 1581 that literally depicts Jerusalem as the navel, as the belly button at the center of the world. It is in Jerusalem that the heavenly realm connects to the earthly realm. So, yes, that's a lot to put on one city. This past Sunday was Yom Yerushalayim, Jerusalem Day, the annual celebration of Israel's capture of the Old City during the 1967 Six-Day War. As a proud Zionist, I rejoice in the fact that Jerusalem is in Jewish hands. For millennia, Jews have prayed daily for their people's return to the Promised Land and its spiritual center, Jerusalem. When the armies of 3 Arab countries tried to remove Jews from the region for the second time in the Six-Day War and were vanquished, we cried with joy. While I bristle at the internal politics, and I personally do not feel a gravitational pull toward the Western Wall, I'm pleased that Jews worldwide can come and find it accessible. As it has in the past, the Jerusalem Day celebration included a parade through the Old City's Arab quarter. This year, there were threats of terrorist attacks from Hamas. Thankfully, those did not come to pass. But all the same, there were a number of clashes between the marchers and the Arab quarter residents. Glass bottles were thrown at each side, and hundreds of Jewish marchers chanted, "Death to Arabs." The parade was, as it always has been, misguided, dangerous, and decidedly un-Jewish. Even having returned to our ancestral land, we are required to be sensitive to other faiths and peoples. Until that messianic era, when in Isaiah's words, the wolf and the lamb shall graze together, and global peace will reign, we are taught not to goad or incite other peoples or religions. A baldly nationalistic march, especially through the Arab quarter of the Old City, is no way to mark the happy fact that Jerusalem is today open to people of all faiths. It was, simply put, a provocation, a militant nationalist assertion of Israeli sovereignty in the face of Arabs, one that doesn't square with Jewish values. Even if it had proceeded peacefully, the march itself was an unnecessary invitation for resentment. In moments such as these, the earthly Jerusalem is not yet the heavenly Jerusalem. It is this earthly Jerusalem that the great Israeli poet Yehuda Amichai captured in his poem aptly titled Jerusalem. On a roof in the old city, laundry hanging in the late afternoon sunlight, the white sheet of a woman who is my enemy, the towel of a man who is my enemy, to wipe off the sweat of his brow. In the sky of the old city, a kite. At the other end of the string, a child I cannot see. because of the wall. We have put up many flags. They have put up many flags to make us think that they're happy, to make them think that we're happy. We have a ways to go to create a heavenly Jerusalem. But rather than leaving you with a bad taste in your mouth, let me give you 3 images of a heavenly Jerusalem. Image number 1. When you go to Jerusalem, as in all of Israel, it is not just the powerful statement that the street signs are in all 3 languages, Hebrew, Arabic, English. But in Jerusalem, where neighborhoods have changed names, it is not the post-1948 Hebrew name that is preserved. It is almost always that pre-1948 Arabic name of the neighborhood that everyone remembers. Everybody knows Talbiyah. Nobody knows Komamiyut. Image number 2. The year was 1991, just after Yom Kippur. My parents came to visit me and arrived on a Thursday. We decided to get out of Jerusalem for that first Shabbat and had rented a car to drive down to Eilat. Friday morning, we packed the car and made a stop at Masada. When we came down off of the mountain, we noticed that our car had been broken into and several of our bags were missing. We scrapped the plan for Eilat and raced back to Jerusalem to file a police report before Shabbat began. Second on the list was to, of course, replace all of my father's heart medication. We walked into a pharmacy, and I explained in my fledgling Hebrew what had happened. Without a single prescription in hand, the woman behind the counter began to make a very long list. When we discovered that the name brands were not available, my father, a veterinarian who knew a lot about his medication, went and stood behind the counter and worked with the woman to come up with the generic versions. 45 minutes later, my father walked out of the pharmacy with $400 worth of medicine, not a single prescription, only in Jerusalem. Image number 3. There's the image in the photo that my friend showed me when he was walking on Emek Rephaim, the main street in the German colony. The photo was of a teenage girl with a sign that read, "The teacher is in. 10-minute Arabic lessons for 10 shekels. Peace." My friend told me that he asked the young Arab girl, "When and where can I get a lesson?" She responded, "Right now." And when he plunked down his 10 shekels, she pulled out a vocabulary list. And in that moment, worlds came together, not as warring nations, but as 2 human beings meeting on a bridge. This summer, when I return to Jerusalem, it will be these stories and images that I will choose to remember. It will be an image and a hope for a city whose very name is rooted in the Hebrew word for wholeness and peace. Shalem, Shalom, Yerushalayim. Just a side, not really a side note, but a shameless plug that you may not be able to go with me this summer to Israel, but next spring, as Israel celebrates its 75th anniversary, we are going to Israel as part of the Greater Miami Jewish Mega Mission in April for Yom HaAtzmaut. I hope, if you're interested, you can contact me. I will share with you the details as our bus grows, that you will join us and celebrate with us. With that, we are at the very end of our period from Pesach to Shavuot. We are at the end of the Omer, the period of the counting of the Omer. We are told that we are supposed to count 7 full weeks, and tonight begins our 7th, the 49th day, so the end of our 7 weeks. And we will make it complete, as we are told to do, with Shavuot tomorrow night. So we continue with the counting of the Omer.
הנני מוכן ומזומן, הנני מוכן ומזומן, הנני מוכן ומזומן, לקיים מצוות עשה. הנני מוכן ומזומן, הנני מוכן ומזומן, הנני מוכן ומזומן, לקיים מצוות עשה של ספירת העומר.
I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of the counting of the Omer.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו על ספירת העומר.
Blessed are you, eternal our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and commands us to count the Omer.
היום 49 יום שהם 7 שבועות לעומר.
Today is the 49th day, which is 7 weeks of the Omer. And now we continue. We invite the congregation to rise, page 586 for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא סבנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עבודם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני המלך על כל הארץ. היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
At this point, we acknowledge those who are no longer with us, those who have gifted us with memory. We think about Sandra Collar, the sister of Henry Solomon. We think about those whose yortzites of our congregant loved ones we commemorate this week. Deborah Alexander, J. William Barrows Sr., Max Beitch, Alba Maria Barraza, Paul Berkowitz, Gerald Morton Gold, Charles S. Green, Julius Greenwald, Francis Hochheiser, Jacob Cass, Harry Lakin, Jerome Lane, Ralph J. Lindo, Rose Max, Dorothy S. Schiffman, Yitzhak Shalev, James T. Treiweiler, Sidel Weintraub, Leroy Wiener. and all those who are listed below who are remembered on our permanent memorial plaques here in the sanctuary. Again, we invite the congregation to rise for Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrachu te v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'galau v'zman kari v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam olomei omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudashah.
Brichu.
Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da miran be'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, huyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved. As together we say, Amen. You may be seated. Once again, I want to wish all of you a Shabbat Shalom. Say thank you first and foremost to Star and Peter Stein, who sponsored our Shabbat services this weekend in honor of ACE. I want to say thank you to Rosella and David Glickman who sponsored in memory of Jacob Cass, and Gail and Stan Green in memory of Charles S. Green. Just a couple of reminders. First of all, it's always nice to be able to celebrate the accomplishments of our own Temple Sinai family. When we say, I am Sinai, it really means that there are so many of us who do wonderful things, and certainly on that list is our own Merle Saferstein, who has written a second book, and is going to be launching that book on June 12th at 4 p.m. here at the synagogue. It's wonderful. She has given her life to our congregation in a variety of ways, and for her to choose Temple Sinai as a place to launch her book is really wonderful. Before that, I just want to say, before that, just one more time, that if you would like to join us tomorrow night, Ace, you're allowed to miss, but otherwise the rest of your family has to show up tomorrow night. Just kidding. Tomorrow night, the rest of you, though, should show up for our Erev Shavuot program and kind of a celebration. If we are celebrating on Shavuot receiving Torah and receiving Torah at Sinai, the question becomes, what exactly did we receive at Mount Sinai, and what have we received at right here at Temple Sinai? Some traditions feel very ancient and are yet very new, and some traditions are new and feel ancient. Did I get that right? So we're going to have a good time. Cantor Norman and I have put together a little program, fun, game, and education all rolled up into one. So we hope that you will join us for that. We are going to conclude with the singing of Adon Olam, page, you would think I would know this, 625. 625, Adon Olam.
Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra et nasa b'chemtzo kol azai melech shemo nikra azai melech shemo nikra be'acharei kikloot hakol לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא עובד והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא יהיה שילה, האחמירה בלי ראשית, אלי תכלית ולא אהוז ועם ישראל, אלא אהוז ועם ישראל, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצור חבלי ועת שרה, והוא ניסי ומנוסי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, בידו אפקיד רוחי, ועת תישן בעירה, ועם רוחי כביאתי, אדוני לי ולא אירא, אדוני לי ולא אירא.
As we invite the congregation to rise, we're going to have Ace join us once again with his dad, Peter, to help us with Kiddush and Motzi.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו אהבה ורצון דנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר יציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת, כי אותנו קידשת מכל העולמים בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen. You can drink that now, Pete. Fine. Ace, take the cover off. Hey, how about that? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.